I've come up with an acronym named ATTUNE, and it's going to change and evolve over the years, but this is where I'm at today with a good 6 steps to work with yourself. And so step 1 is to acknowledge that you're emotionally misattuned to. Like, I have so many clients that are all, no, I can't think badly about my parent. Like, they tried so hard, they gave everything. And then they aren't acknowledging that they're actually really emotionally hurting underneath, and then doing a lot of safe behaviors or compensatory behaviors. And so step 1 is to be all, no, like, my parent just had lower emotional intelligence, or they really didn't learn from their parents, like, how to do this whole empathy thing. And so you don't need to blame who's doing this. You can just accept that their emotional intelligence skill might be lower, but you acknowledge that you were, some of your emotional needs were really not met. So A is acknowledge. Step 2 is T, to tune into your higher self. And so this is kind of self as context and acceptance and commitment therapy, or awareness in Buddhism, or self-leadership and internal family systems therapy. It's like to shift from your thinking mind to more your observing self. And it's from that space that you can kind of catch your triggered reactions and bring yourself self-compassion. And so just kind of shifting from that small self to a bigger self. So step 2 is T, to tune into your higher self. And then step 3 is T, to tend to your emotional needs. And this is kind of what I said earlier, like to soothe yourself, to use emotion regulation to calm your system down if you're really distressed or dysregulated, use self-compassion. So that encompasses like all of DBT, ACT, CBT, all the self-regulation therapies are step 3. Step 4 is U, which is to undo emotional aloneness. And this is to really be in your emotional hurt or your emotional vulnerability, like saying, hey, like so-and-so really missed me or wasn't there for me, or like my partner cheated on me, or, whatever the situation is, to be in your raw emotion and to have someone else see it and like sit with you in it. Like, often this happens in therapy. So you co-regulate with the other person and you're not alone in your pain. And this is what wasn't done for people with chronic misattunement, like by their parents or in other relationships. And so the step 4 is to undo emotional aloneness. And it's kind of a core feature of AEDP, accelerated experiential dynamic therapy, or it's a little bit in FAP and a little bit in EFT, emotion focused therapy. Is kind of this step. And then the next step, step 5, is to narrate your life from an updated perspective. And so to shift, because often people are in a story of like, my childhood was not that bad. Like, why am I depressed? Like, get it together. And so to kind of shift from a self-blame story to, oh, wait, like I was emotionally misattuned to, and that's why I've like kind of struggled emotionally. And so to not blame others or yourself. And so narrate your life from a more self-respecting perspective. And then the last step is E, to empower yourself to take up emotional and relational space. And so to kind of know what your emotional needs are, like express them in the world more, and even like ask, or like, instead of being so self-sufficient and taking care of everything yourself, like to actually be more, foster constructive dependency, where you say, hey, like I could really use some help here, or it'd be nicer like if you were sitting next to me, like as I did this, or to really authentically say what you think. And so this is a little bit the second tip that I said earlier. So it's to do the actions and the behaviors that you're not doing when you're just shoring up and trying to do it all yourself. And so it's to speak and act in the world in a way that you're facilitating attunement with yourself and others.